Everyone, I hope you've had an amazing weekend. Um, I know I certainly did. I was the guest medium at Ramsgate um, Spiritual Church, and Lynn runs a wonderful church there. If you ever get a chance, please go. Congregation was absolutely amazing. We had a lot of fun, lots of messages. Everybody got a message that was there. And I've already heard from some people, and I am thrilled. So, looking forward to my next gig, my next church, and hopefully I will see you there. So let's see what card we've got coming out for tonight. This is about things that are growing for you, for me, for everybody, things that we plant, seeds. I came up with an idea a few weeks ago, then I developed it, then I went to look at a studio. So, it's amazing. You don't have to have this frantic push, just going at a good pace so that you feel as though you're making progress towards your own dreams. And so that's what that card is. It's like, just we plant the seed. I threw some tomato seeds into a bit of soil, and I keep going out and there, and now there's just this tiny little bit of green. And to imagine that if it's successful, it will end up into a beautiful tomato, but not overnight. A little bit of nurturing, sunshine, some water, keeping an eye on it. And that's what our dreams are like. So our part is to do as much as we can, not push, but to be open to unseen energies, unseen hands trying to help us. And when that does happen, to be grateful and say, thank you. Fantastic. So this one here is coming out of confusion. Let me see if we can do that. So this is like going around in circles. Am I doing it right? Whatever. And then it's like it clicks. It's amazing. And it may not click in the way that you're expecting. And that is half of the fun. Hi, Joe. Lovely to have you here. Let me do a card for you, Joe, straight away. I'm just going to move this light a little bit so it's not. Oh, there you go. That was a little bit, wasn't it? Okay, let's see what card I've got for you, Joe. There's one sticking out here. All right, this is about letting things go. This is time um, to gather a few things up because that's not a small cloud. And thoughts are like clouds, they gather and it can dim the sun, it can dim our light. And so start small if that's what needs to be done, letting one or two things go at a time. So maybe, Joe, that's where you're up to, and it can be letting go of possessions, it can be letting go of expectations, all those sorts of things. So let me do another card in this pack. And let's see what we've got now. Oh, and this is something, I think this might be for you, Joe, but this is something that I'm doing at the moment and I'm loving it because it's taking me in all different directions. And it's this word. I am saying yes. So when somebody offers me something, I'm saying yes. And so far, I've had a marvelous time and meeting new people. Hi, beautiful Sylvia. I hope you are feeling a lot better, darling. Please let us know if you're still in hospital or if you are at home. Either way, we're sending you lots of love, lots of healing, and hoping that you are feeling a lot better. So, Sylvia, let me pick a card for you, which is one of my favorite packs. Mind you, I do like them all. So, yes, you are feeling better. That's great. And oh, I feel like I've got two here. This one here is detoxification. So, I'm sure perhaps with hospital food, that is something that you may need to do either now or certainly in the future, but it can be our thoughts, our actions. I just feel as though you've gone through quite a dark night of the soul, Sylvia. So please take care. And this card is coming up for you. Nina, hi. So this is a card that's come out for you, Nina. And this is family harmony. We don't always have family harmony as much as sometimes we try. And sometimes it's asking us not to try, let things be. Easier said than done, of course. So let's just see what other cards are going to come out here. Ooh, all right, this one here, breaking free. I think a lot of us need to do this. We need to break free from old habits, old patterns of thought. I heard somebody talking the other day saying, we don't have a personality, we have patterns. And I thought, ooh, I like that. Because if we think of ourselves as having patterns, well, then those we can change. I am home, sweetheart. I have been resting, just woke up. Oh, I'm so glad you've joined us. I'm so glad you're home. Look, no matter what do they say, no matter how humble, it's good to be home. Okay, let's just see one more here. Peace of mind, that's certainly what I was saying to somebody today. Health and peace of mind is at the top of the list now. Looking about what's happening in my environment, people, etc., and just putting it in a place that I'm in alignment, with what I want. And I hope that that is somewhere where you are at in your lifetime. So I'm just going to do um, a different pack of cards. These are the surrender cards. So let's just see what it is. I know a lot of us have got things that we need to let go of. This one here, well, I love this. And I wrote about this in my journal this morning. Surrender to spirit. Being in the flow, being in the flow. And it actually says here, once you've done everything you can to achieve or try to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. And that happens, I know it happens a lot to Sylvia and to most of us here on this little show. I know that you are very trusting and that, you know, we do try to push ourselves forward, but sometimes we just have to sit. I had a wonderful gift given to me today, very unexpectedly, something that a process that I've wanted to go through, and somebody rang me and offered it to me as a gift. I am humbled and enormously grateful. So fantastic. It is. It's absolutely great. So we are going to look at the tea leaves now and just see what's happening in here. I'm using a completely different cup tonight. It's a very wide cup, as you can see. It's quite large. And we're just looking at what's going on in here. So the first thing that I see, it looks like two branches in sort of this, more like a U shape, but the top of the U is like branches and it's like a bird's nest and there's a big bird sitting in it. And I just want you to see if you can actually see that. You see the bird sitting in the nest there. You might also be able to see the four. And I feel as though this is to do with, can be 4 days, 4 weeks. I don't feel it's any longer than that. And what fascinates me is though, it's quite a big nest. So, hi, Nikki. So I feel as though it's quite a big bird. So I don't feel the big bird in the nest is like, what is it, a cuckoo egg, where these little birds go and look after an egg and it turns out to be this massive bird. I feel as though a lot is about to hatch. And of course, we're all in the year 9. Super important that we're starting to tidy up and get rid of what we don't want, whether it be work, clothes, patterns, habits, people, things that you really now need to say, look, it's been wonderful, whether it's a person or whatever it may be. But I have this pathway that I need to follow now. And within the next 4 weeks, you're going to feel this energy changing. Now, there's somebody here. Um, and you'll see there's like a female figure um, at the bottom there. I don't know whether you can see it. And I feel as though they're trying to reach up to you. They're offering you some help. And you're sitting up there and you're tending to be looking at the big picture. Please don't forget the people who actually want to help you. So this looks like a friend, and my beautiful friend Nikki has offered me some help in the next 6 weeks or so. So I will let you in on that a little bit more. Um, as we're moving around, there's a whole line of activity here, and it actually goes around the cup and then it gradually goes up. And it's from here, there's 4 weeks, if you can see the whole line of activity going right round the cup, and gradually it comes up. So what this is asking you to do is keep working at whatever it is that you are trying to achieve. Do not give up. Because it's almost like you might be flying under the radar. Maybe you're not rich and famous, but maybe you're also not meant to be. Often helping 10, 20, 30 people is going to make you feel amazing. If you're trying to do 100, 200, 1,000, you might be stressed out and then you're no good to anybody. So this one here is asking you to keep doing what you're doing because it looks like it's working. And then it begins, as you can see, to get higher up the cup. It's moving further on. And I feel as though this has got, I'm receiving help at the minute to improve life. Gorgeous, Sylvia. And there is a number 7 in here. And I feel as though this is 7 months. So there's a big turnaround for all of us within the 7 months. And that would be about right because we're almost at the end of September. So we've got October, November, December. So we got 3 months there. And then we got January, February, March, April. And so it's over these next 7 months. Keep steady at it. Keep doing. Don't push. Don't rush. Let the universe show you some of the doors that it's opening for you. People coming to say, yes, I can help you. Again, that's happened to me today, and I'm over the moon. And so I'm just going to keep doing it. And I'm hoping you're going to keep doing it too. And share with us. Share with me if you want to send me a private message. I would love to know. Nina is doing a course. Fabulous. Good on you. And over the next 7 months, it's like then the door opens. What I find is it's a little bit like, do you remember when they were saying you needed 10,000 hours to sort of be an expert at something? And there was a fellow that got on and he did, I think it was 200 hours, maybe a few more. I'll have to look this up. But he played a piece on the violin and it wasn't, in his words, fantastic, but it was enough so that you thought that's not bad. You could recognize what he was playing. So sometimes we're not meant to be the expert, but we are meant to maybe do the job that we've come here to do. And the biggest message I can possibly give to you is to decide what your big picture is. What is your big picture? And normally that is some kind of meaning in your life. I know I had a wonderful conversation with Nikki a couple of weeks ago, and what a generous lady she is. And it's gone into a new vibration, and it was just such a pleasure to listen to the joy in her voice. So things change, things expand, and suddenly it's all happening for you and you go, wow, I didn't even push for that. That's really cool. I also feel I've got 24 in here. Um, and I feel I've got 23 and I've got 24, but I tend to feel that might be the 23rd, which happens to be Casey's birthday in October. 23rd, 24th, I feel as though maybe next month that is important for quite a few people, the 23rd and the 24th. As I move around here, there is this beautiful tree Let me try and get this right. You can see the bottom of the tree there, and it's sort of lopsided, and often life is like that. You know, we go to do something. We're going to go and tidy the bedroom, but we take something down to the garage, and the next minute we're tidying the garage. So we're still progressing, but we might be slightly distracted. But sometimes the distraction, tidying the garage, maybe you will find something that if you'd have stuck with tidying the bedroom, you wouldn't have found it. Maybe in letting things go in the garage, it may be easier than letting things go in the bedroom. So here, this is about prosperity, and we're moving almost, I would say, well, it's a year one next year. We've all got a chance to have more success than what we've had in the last couple of years. We just need to find the right individual formula for ourselves, and that is going to be super important. At the bottom of the cup, it's absolutely beautiful here. This looks like a park bench. I'm going to show you in a second. And it almost looks like a grandmother with a child. And the way I see, the Disney World type of description of that is the doting grandmother and the innocent child. And they love each other. And it's just picture perfect here. And I don't know whether you can sort of see that at the bottom. You might not. But it just makes me feel of family, and connection and love. There is a beautiful star in the bottom here. And this is someone that I believe is maybe taking off from Australia next year, going overseas. And I believe it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity that I feel that you have done the work. I feel as though I can see Merlin in the cup and he's holding up the star. So yabba dabba do, excited for year one. Absolutely, me too, Sylvia. And what this means is that you've been doing the work, you've been tapping into the spiritual. I had a very big question the other day, and I thought, okay, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to see. And I thought, I wonder what the answer will be. And it was just plain no. Very little explanation, but the look on the faces of who I was in connection with, it was like, no. And I thought, okay, well, next, let's go and make a cup of tea. And that was a very quick meditation. But I've gone by it um, because it needed to be sorted. Um, I'm just going to move it around because this is a very, very interesting cup here. Now, I've got a man here, but it's almost like he's dressed as a monk. I feel as though, there's the wide sleeves, the robe, and maybe the hood. And he's actually working on something. And a friend of mine, Jeannie, put a lovely post up the other day about her father. I think he was an engineer, and he brought home an oscilloscope. I've said that wrong, I'm sure. But he got Jeannie to dismantle it and catalogue it, and she didn't know what the part was. I think she was 9 at the time. And this picture reminds me of that. I don't know whether you can see this man here, his head and his arm and his legs here. And he looks like he's got a magnifying glass. He's working on something. But this is a very wise person, a man who maybe doesn't say too much. And I feel as though we're all looking for that wise person. And I know in my meditations, sometimes I can ask for these wise people to come. And I believe this is what this is saying, that we have wisdom within us because we hear everything. We remember everything, but often if it's in the unconscious, subconscious, we're just not aware of it. But you get yourself in the right place, just maybe you can tap into that. And I say maybe because it takes a lot of practice. Doesn't have to take years, but it does have to take practice in lots of ways. Okay, wow. I feel like I've got the horse here. There's a woman standing on the horse, like you see them at these shows, with all the fringes, almost. But I feel it's more historic. Like I mean, Boadicea, I don't know if she ever stood on a horse. I don't think she did. But this feels like a woman, very proud, very strong, going into a battle, but with surety, absolute surety. Now, this is about 18 months' time. And I feel if we all stay on track, if we're growing and knowing and finding the knowledge we need for ourselves, this will be us going into not so much battle all the time, but going in with confidence, moving forward with this inner knowledge that we're okay. We're smart enough to handle this. This is a great cup, so I hope that you um, have enjoyed that. And now we are up to the meditation. And before I do that, I would just like to mention that I will be releasing some MP3s. I've got a whole list, and I would love to give you two or three of those for free. And I would like a little something in return. And that would be if you private message me your email at any time in the next couple of weeks. I mean, today would be great. And I would love to send you a list of titles. And what I would love from you is to tick off what would be your top 10 out of all of those titles. Which would you love to have? And if you could do that for me, I will send you 3 of the 10 that you are wanting to have for absolutely free. And when they do go for sale, they will be very reasonable because I want people to have access so that they can have those gifts within inside themselves. So now I would love you to relax and just on the next breath, close your eyes. Imagine the white light coming through the back of your head, down your shoulders and your arms, and to your hands. And on the next breath, saying to yourself, I am here. I am here. Letting that white light go down the back of your spine. That wonderful spine of ours, how it protects all our nervous system, our ability to hold our head up high or shoulders back, to walk. The white light going into the hips and the pelvic area, the bottom back of the legs, back of the knees, the calves, into the heels, and feeling like it's going into the ground and grounding you. And the white light coming over your forehead. And again, on the next breath, I am here, giving yourself this time. And as it comes across your throat and over your chest, just put your hand on your heart area. 2 hands is lovely, one on top of the other. And feel that warmth and that comfort from your own hands. And give your heart a little pair of lungs all of its own. And it loves that. It loves the freedom to be able to breathe and relax and surrender. Be at peace. And then let that energy flow down your body, right down to your toes, into the ground. And in this moment that you are here, giving yourself permission to relax, just imagine you're floating deep inside yourself until you come across a beautiful door. This is the door to your sanctuary. And as you get closer, the door opens because of your vibration, your personal frequency. And as you step inside, The door closes, and in front of you is a magnificent space. Warm, comfortable, perfect. Maybe it has large picture windows, maybe it has chandeliers, maybe it's ultra modern. Perhaps you can see the beach, maybe you're in a forest, maybe you're at the top of a mountain, maybe you're just out in the open. But the one thing that we all have is the healing bed. And as you walk over to the healing bed, you sink into it, you surrender to the comfort, and you have this sense of belonging because it's true. You do belong because this is your special place. And on the next breath, here comes the pink mist, which is going to scan your body for tired or worn out cells, replacing them with beautiful, jiggly new cells supporting the immune and the blood, the heartbeat, everything about you. And the pink mist is unconditional love, moving through your body, acknowledging you, appreciating you, congratulating you on getting to this day and getting through all the things that you've had to withstand in your life. It knows and it acknowledges you. It nourishes you and nurtures you. It wants you to be at peace and healthy and happy. And as the pink mist flows towards your feet, you tend to notice a light under a door in your sanctuary. Again, another beautiful door, and over the door it has the wisdom room. So you go over to the door and you open it, and inside are books upon books, information, filing cabinets, several desks. But there is one desk there that you often sit at. There is pen and paper. And as you write down any question that you may have, or a concern, or maybe there's something you need help with, just take a minute or two to write that down. And just by the act of writing, you're releasing this. You're letting the universe know that you are open to assistance. You are open to signs of help, education, signs are perhaps through music or an advert. I remember seeing something once on the side of a bus, and even that helped me. And there's a box there, you pop it in the box. You take a nice big breath. You're not carrying that on your own now. It's gone out for some help. We may not know how it will come, but it will come. So on your next breath, I'd like you to come out of the wisdom room, knowing you can go back here anytime you want to. As you close the door, you may make your way past the healing bed. And as you get to your sanctuary door, it opens just with your vibration, with your presence. You step through and it closes behind you. You feel centered. Every cell in your body has just had healing. You've released a concern or asked a question. And as you come back to the room on the 29th of September, I welcome you back, and I hope you got some value from that. And I want to thank you for being here with me. I love seeing your names. I love the way you say hello to each other. And I'm very grateful for you. And I love to see that in a few days, more people have viewed this, and hoping that they too have had some value. I look forward to seeing you next Monday, and hopefully I will see some emails for me to send you these meditations when they're finished. My gift to you. So please look after yourselves. Thank you, Joe, Sylvia, Nina, Nikki. Just look after yourself and Joe. Just be happy, keep smiling, and like the cup said, keep working on that project. Success is just around the corner. God bless. Bye bye.